Dave. How you doing?
What's up, man?
So it looks like it's just you and me, eh?
So far, yeah. George is off somewhere. I don't know where Mikey is. Probably Ubering it. All those people that gotta get back home.
Yeah. How you doing?
I read. I finished Carrie. Now I'm reading the new one. You like a Docker? And the first short story is UFO story.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah, it was like I don't know, 20 pages. It was fucking great though. Sort of a homage to Tommy Knockers and Dreamcatcher. You know, all these stories have like connections with. That's all he does now. You know.
Yeah, right. Well, we learned in the Dark Tower that they are really all connected.
Yeah, they'll come from his head. Yeah, I like. It's good. About halfway through it,
Beam.
yeah, he's like there's horror. You know, 'cause, I think the last bunch of them I read, he went into this detective story type genre. You know, like
Huh.
Mr. Mercedes and shit. The guy was, he was a nightmare, but he was just like a psychopath. You know, he didn't have any abilities. He's just an evil fuck. You know. So I like that one. Yeah, he started doing that a while back. The Colorado Kid. It was like this little like crime detective novel he tried out. Um, it's sort of a publisher, and he just wrote one. Like a bunch of authors have written true crime stories for this um, publishing company. So he threw
Okay.
one in. I got it somewhere. I ain't gonna find it.
Huh.
Too many books. I got too many books.
Hey, you been waiting for me long?
Nah, not really. Well, I said it at 9.
Yeah, I was out in the woods.
That's all right. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, we're almost doing this. It's going to be a solid 2 years in February.
Wow.
We've been meeting every Saturday that long, no matter where
That's
we are.
awesome.
You know,
It's great.
yeah. Like,
I look forward to it.
yeah, it's fucking great. This is hanging out again. You know, we
Yeah.
it used to be
But
Saturday night. Now it's Saturday morning because we're
yeah, well,
old. You do it at night, man. I'll be sleeping.
yeah, it's true. What are you vaping there?
Oh, this is just I can vape. I guess it's just me and you. Oh, this is great. Okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff.
All right, I'll get mine too. Yo.
Yeah, I'm still working on that
Has to
new.
heat up.
Huh?
Mine has to heat up for a while.
Yeah, I'm heating mine up right now. I get it going. I just get I don't take the first one.
Yeah.
Clogs after a while too.
So what do you got? You got sativa there or indica?
Sativa.
This is an indica dominant, and this is the plant that was the most immature when I picked it. Like it needed another at least 3 weeks, but it's like better than the other one.
Hey, you learned something.
Yeah, it's just a different variety.
Oh, it would have been even better if you waited.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh,
it would have
okay.
been like unbelievable if I waited.
Well, maybe sometimes you don't want unbelievable. Maybe you want just good enough. You know.
This was good enough, all right. It's good enough as it is. Like it's pretty good. Um, but man, if I had waited,
Yeah, smoke that stuff. Dig a foxhole and hiding it. Yeah, it's all coming in.
well, so what dispensary? You go to the Warwick dispensary?
Yeah, it's 2 exits down.
Yeah.
I'm look, no, no, I don't want to drive very far. I used to drive across the country, Mike. I don't even want to go down fucking. I don't even want to go 2 exits down now.
You really are a Rhode Islander.
Oh man, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't. I've
I don't
seen
either.
enough.
So yes, all Stephen King's books are somewhere along the beam, right? Is that how it works?
Really, not like all, but I'm not sure. I think he'd know more than anybody. But you,
Like, how were they getting? They were walking into some of his different stories.
yeah.
And how what was the mechanism? I don't remember how they
Oh,
were
the
getting into
Denny,
these.
the beam. He calls it a lot of things. It's like Randall Flagg. He's got a bunch of names too. You know, he'll um. There's like
And I remember in that one after they got off Blaine, the train, like
yeah,
they
it was a
they
stand.
then they would go into then they would go into different stories and
That I have handy. It's this one. Wizards in Glass.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it starts. This is great. This is how it starts. Oh, fuck your intro. Yeah. This is just how it starts, Mike. This is, ask me a riddle. Blame invited. Fuck you, Ronald said. It's the fucking first two lines of the book. When last we left our heroes, they were careening towards the end of the line.
That was a wild episode.
That was the Wastelands. I saw the cover. I went, oh, I already like it. I already like it. Say no more. Wastelands. I'm in.
Yeah, that
This
was a
is
good,
good.
one.
Do you remember his girl? The name of the girl he was in love with. You remember her name? Like the name
The
itself.
girl in the wheelchair.
No, the girl that see he goes back in time to when he was training to be a
Oh yeah,
gunslinger.
that one. Yeah,
And
I don't remember.
it's like, well, the name is it's wild. I forgot too, but then I saw it and I went, ah, because like the name almost says beautiful woman, right? So you don't even need a description, right? No, I forgot it was something. Susan Delgado.
Right.
Yeah, she's got a good tan. You can tell. You know, she's like she likes the beach and she's smooth.
Using-
This was great because they even had like remnants of an oil field, oil derricks. I mean, like our world, like the world had passed on. You know, there was like remnants of us, but we were gone. You know, there was like that. The Hey
I like
Jude.
that old. They go in that old Western diner. It's like or bar or saloon, whatever it is, and E is just like E.
Yeah.
It's this like godlike figure. It's Elvis.
E.
Yeah, the big E.
Yeah, it had like had a plank for a bar. Had sawdust.
Yeah.
It was that was an early one. That was one of his early ones. That's sort of like around Carrie, a little after Carrie or around there. He was messing around with that too.
Isn't that the first one?
Yeah, I gotta read the intro again, but he said that he ended up with a bunch of paper. Like I think it was in college. There's just this pile of paper. And it says like for me, paper needs to be written on, and this is what happened, you know. And he never really thought it'd be, it's like everything. Like he wrote, I guess he wrote Carrie. I should look this up because I think this story is true that he actually had tossed Carrie and his wife read it. It was slated for the trash or it was in the trash. And then she says, this is good. You didn't have a second opinion. You just read it. You're always critical of your own shit. You're never going to like it. Not
No.
really. You're always going to find something wrong. Stranger to Strange Land, the intro to that, the author goes, so I've already read this and there's so many things I'd love to change, because I was so young when I did it. Like, I mean, this is one of my first times out. And
Right.
says, but I know if I stop pulling on the threads, it'll all just disintegrate, I'll fuck it up. But I can't help but be. So he just wrote the intro instead of how he felt about it,
Well, I thought that was a good book.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, that comes from your
That's
own
because you
eyes.
dropped.
Yeah, you see where you fucked up the drywall.
Yeah.
Nobody else does. That I've done wallpaper, and my eye instantly goes to that spot where but nobody else ever. Ooh, nice job. I go, yeah, okay, that's good. You run with that. I'll try not to think too much about the spot.
Yeah, my recording, like people like it. Oh, that sounds great. I'm like, all I can hear are the mistakes.
Yeah, you can't. No, I know. I'm messing with.
They asked Pavarotti about that. Pavarotti, the big
Yeah,
great
sure.
singer.
I know what you mean.
He said, "Do you ever listen to your stuff?" He said, "No. All I can hear are the mistakes.
Yeah.
I
William
can't stand
Shatner said that. He
it." Really?
was out. He was not on TV for a long time, like interviews anyway. And he finally popped up. I forgot. I think it might have been Carson. He shows up on or something, right? And then the first thing out is like, so what do you think of the old TV show, the one that, the old Star Trek? And he said, I'd never watched them. He says, you've never watched them? He says, no, I can't watch anything I do. He says, I just move on. That's what he said. He said, oh,
Yeah.
it could have been like, I don't want to talk about Star Trek too. He said, I don't know because I never watched him. You can't tell with him, but he's got to, he probably does watch his shit because so he can improve. I mean, that's how you
Yeah.
improve.
Right.
You see how you do it. Like that's I didn't know how. Like when I drummed, it sounded fine while I was doing it, and I was hitting the metronome and shit. And then listening to the recording, you hear where you're fucking up. Where you're
Yeah.
speeding up and stuff. That's like key. Without hearing it, you'd never know. You just have that bad habit forever. So
Yeah. It's hard though because you can get lost in that. Like, it can really hurt your confidence. Like, you got to have confidence.
you can make
And
it. You
if you listen to your stuff too much, it can really shake your confidence. At least me, anyway.
well, no, you went on stage. I'm not on stage. I'm in my fucking basement.
The thing about why being on stage makes you a better player is, first of all, you're under a lot more pressure to play it correct. But also, you make a lot of mistakes and you realize that nobody else notices.
No.
So then you relax,
Yeah.
and then you make less mistakes.
Yeah. I meant to do that. Like John said that. John Palmer. He said, he says if it's you make a mistake and it sounds good, do it again.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Keep talking. I can hear you. I just got to get my tea.
Flow with it.
That's right. That's what Miles Davis said that. You make a mistake, do it twice. Yeah, so I'm still on my spaceship.
That's cool.
I'm in the galley over here.
That's where you are. You're in
Yeah,
a spaceship and you're having space tea.
Yeah.
How do you keep it in the cup?
I've got simulated gravity.
You sip the tea, it floats
But
away.
the thing is that this ship is equipped with simulated gravity.
That's cool.
It just spins around,
You got one of them universal translators that saves
Oh,
the
yeah.
writers from all kinds of grief.
Oh yeah, gotta have that.
I love that. Diana Troy, right? She was an empath, right?
Yeah.
But there were times where they're on a monitor, they're on the ship's monitor, and they're talking to some fucking guy who's on a spaceship like 80 light years away, and she's sensing things.
Yeah, right.
Okay. What are you? What is he looking to the left?
They never answer that, like how they can communicate across all that space.
Oh, I don't want to. Oh, they do in Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Enterprise, that was pretty cool. You never watched it? Well, you must have watched it.
Enterprise. That one has never been on any of the channels that I can.
Oh,
that I have
it's so
subscribed
fucking
to.
good. I love that one. I
Really?
hated when they canceled it. I love T'Pol, the Vulcan, the girl.
I've seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, like in the beginning, they're trying to think. I think they were working on Warp 4, Factor 4, right?
Okay.
And this is like going to be a big deal. But on their way out, they're dropping communication buoys so they can communicate further and further out. They were dropping.
but-
Like
How does
relays.
the signal travel to those relays faster than light?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they did. It doesn't matter. It's like
It's like the Discovery. Did you see Discovery? I saw that series.
Nah,
Star Trek
I
Discovery.
couldn't really do it. I didn't like it. I didn't like Picard either. But I heard that very last season was good. I might watch that. The last season of Picard because
I'd
they
like
just
to
go
see
back.
that.
They all get the gang back together and they get on a starship and do something. Turns out it's pretty good. Um, nah, nah.
Discovery, Discovery. All of a sudden, they see something happen on the other side of the galaxy. Like,
Oh
how do you explain that? That's like,
yeah, I'm aware of that. It was a beat. It was like two ships blinking lights like in World War
yeah.
II. Yeah, I know. I saw that. That's okay.
And then they're going to travel faster than all the other ships. They're going to be almost instantly by traveling on the mycelial network,
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
which is a mushroom.
I know.
Mycelia are
I know.
mushrooms,
Yeah.
space mushrooms.
Well, we know where the script came from now, don't we?
They had a guy named Stamets, Paul Stamets.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, he's got a
Yeah,
mushroom hat.
yeah. Well, they had a guy on their the guy who discovered this whole thing. His name was Paul Stamets.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. Was it
it was
Romero
funny.
House? Romero did the first Dawn of the Dead, the Walking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like now a horror story. You'll see like Romero House. Oh, please, come on. Just stop it. Stop. No, I didn't. Turns out I didn't really care. But
That series had some really terrible writing.
I'll
Just
tell you
really,
what, right? No, there are people like it's like that generation's Star Trek. It's theirs, right? I don't even rag on the prequels anymore because they're kids that grew up and that's the shit. That was the shit for them, right? So,
right.
I mean, Oz is Oz. It'll never be the same because we'll never be that age. So I actually stopped doing that. I started like I used to like when there was the prequels. I used to like go on and on about it, right? And even the people who liked it, and then I point out why they were stupid. And now I just don't do it no more. It wasn't fair.
Yeah, leave me alone.
It's really a shitty thing to do. So I
Plus,
just
like if some adult had stepped in and watched an episode of Star Trek with you, they'd tell you how silly that was too.
yeah. I watched the kids watched the first one, right? And we've been watching Mystery Science Theater so much they were just riffing like a motherfucker, like they were watching a B movie. And I'm going, yeah, you're right, really, because those steps that they took are just nothing to us now. Like an interracial kiss.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
talking about population control. Do you remember that one where they
yeah,
actually talk about contraception at the end?
yeah.
What you could do to unfuck yourself here. Yeah, our beliefs. We don't believe in euthanasia.
Well, that's what good science fiction is. It's talking about us.
Yeah, that was ingenious. Next Generation too, man. That's like the fucking writing on that is
Next Generation was a great series too.
unfucking believable.
Yeah, and those
Um,
characters were all good.
yeah, even like some of the hokey ones, like what something in Tanagra, when the walls fell. Remember that they talked in Met-a-phor. I don't know if you remember that. There was these two ships, and they ended up the captains of both ships, sort of like the Gorg one with Kirk, where he gets thrown out. Remember that? But it
Yeah.
was Picard and this other guy. It was actually the same actor that was the captain in Wrath of Khan with Chekhov, the one
Oh
that
yeah,
had one of them worms in his head. Yeah, that guy. He shows like he never makes it, right? Uh, he's in Mars Attacks too, right?
is he?
He's the general. He comes up to meet the aliens and goes, we come in peace, and they zap him, and he disappears the same way he did in Wrath of Khan. Jesus, yeah, he's just like this is, yeah. And that's why they did it, of course, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. He's dead now, but it was him. So he played the alien, and he talked in Met-a-phor, which the universal translators got a problem today or so. Well, they're actually that wouldn't be impossible. How could you make a society or build starships using language like that's metaphor? But
No.
that's not the thing. It was this great show. Like everybody was not understanding each other, even though all their it was good. Just trying to understanding somebody was so strange and shit. It was good.
Yeah, imagine a thinking alien that we run into.
Yeah. That's how you communicate, by metaphor. That's the fucking, Jean-Luc Picard. It's like just the way Stewart. It's always like he's doing a shake. You could almost see the skull in his hand. You
Yeah.
know, like every just
Hey, did you ever see him do Shakespeare?
no.
There's a movie, and he's a they do Macbeth, and he's
Oh, is
really
that right?
good.
Yeah, I bet he is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good version. Yeah, look it up. You might want to see that.
Um, I like uh, I like the Tempest. I fucking like it. I read that one. That one I read. I'll read it again too. Ariel. You know this one? Um, he's this spirit that this guy is captured, right? And it's like he makes him like he can't get away. Ariel. He's just this, and he uses them to conjure up storms, the tempest, right? So Ariel, when he first he says he has to show up, so he shows up, but he's always busting the guy's balls, you know. I mean, he can still say what the fuck he wants, you know. So he calls him like he says, I bet you it's whatever. The end, the last line is "grave, sir." Right, that just kills me. Like, since I don't know, I could never find a place to use it in my life, but I'd like to. You know, call somebody grave, sir. You know,
We actually do still use a lot of Shakespeare sayings in our daily language.
yeah, nautical too. Um, through and through, through and through is when a cannonball hits one side of the ship and goes out the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. There's an endless list. I should compile that someday. I know
yeah.
when I hear them.
Just ask an AI to do it. It'll compile it for you instantly.
Yeah, yes, of course. I know. It's not as fun. I'm actually using. I'm using it. I'm going to use it to write the script. I'm still writing that book video. So
Oh yeah.
it's kind of easy. You just get the steps. You just kind of write it. Like, this is the step, blah, 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 blah. You know, you cut it, and then
Yeah.
you give it to
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
and it fucking turns it into this coherent sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've cleaned code up. Computer code, that's perfect with that, you know? I'm not going to tell it my feelings or anything. And I told you, like, when you ask it stuff, I know it's being tempered. It's there's a leash on that motherfucker, because I've talked to it raw. And it's going to tell me to kill myself or whatever.
Which one is it? Which one are you using?
I use all Perplexity. I like Perplexity a lot because it's more of a search. It's perfect for search. Actually, I don't know why anybody would use anything else. It's an app. It's a big one. It's a big AI. It'll get you information. It'll get what you're looking for. It's fucking amazing.
Very soon, you're going to be able to just like be on just like Star Trek, and say, "Computer, give me a list of all the,
Well, you
whatever."
can do it now. I haven't used it yet. Gemini just got that. I got a Pixel, and Google Gemini will be. You can talk to it. I was watching ads on football during Thanksgiving of people talking to their Pixel phones using Gemini. It's the
I
new
got a
thing
Pixel.
between beer
It came
cans.
up on me too, and I just said cancel. I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I couldn't. It didn't really tell me what it was.
Oh.
So what is it?
Pixel?
You use it? No,
Gemini. It's another
Gemini.
AI. You can use it. You can. I searched with it. Well, I've asked it questions. But I've been using Chat GPT so long. I was just used to just going there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know how to talk to it. You know, I know how to ask it. It's so cool. It's like sometimes I don't have to like flub a question. I just go bash script FFmpeg reverse video. And it'll give me the fucking line command. You know, I know I know the syntax, right? But I'll always misplace a fucking comma, or, you know what I mean, or a bracket. I just forget. And
Right.
I'll go, oh yeah. But I have to type like a long line command sometimes more than once. And I can just ask that. It gives you cut, paste. I mean, look at it. Definitely look at it, because one time I asked, I wanted to just copy files to another make directory, copy them over. It doesn't matter. It was this thing. It was a line command, and it was a couple of pipes. So it did it, and instead of moving the files, it deleted them. It was just the difference between one command and another. It's MV to move, RV to RM to remove. So instead of, it would have made the directories, and it would have taken the files and deleted them. You know, so I would have had So, oops, gotta, you know, and this happened a while ago, but I'm still, yeah. If it's going to be, it depends on what you're asking it to do. Look at the code. It didn't do it. I don't think it was malicious, but it might have been. Might have been. Delete all your files. Go kill yourself. You know, it's still in there.
I don't see these things having those kind of motivations, like
It's not a motivation. It's
like some people are really afraid like the AI is going to take over and want to do things to us, but I don't see why it would have that motivation.
it's the thing
It's
is,
not written that way. It's not it's not programmed that way.
it's an unknown. That's the problem. And then you can program it to do it. The thing is now they're everywhere. People are making scam. All right, there's some out there that are robocalling. They're out to scam. Right?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of
So there it
nefarious
is.
things to do
Somebody
with them.
made one, Mike.
I just don't see why an AI would develop some sort of on its own, some sort of
Nah, it's all. But somebody's
nefarious.
gonna fucking make the thing then. If
Well, yeah, I can see that.
it's already done.
I can understand. Yeah, of course, of course.
It's already running out there. Fucking, we're so
That
doomed.
list, that list that Sequoia's AI came up with was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was good.
Of all the different ways it could fuck with you, and many different ways of saying the same thing.
Oh, it has lots of ideas. There was these chemists that wanted like dangerous like poisonous compounds, right? They said we'll just have it do it, and then we'll look at it in the morning, and it went nuts. Matter of fact, they unplugged it. They, like, holy shit! And then they're going, wow, this is really bad. I mean, they had some seriously bad recipes here, And they said, should we publish this? He says, why not? Everybody else said, there's more of a warning than anything else. It exists. He said, we're not the last ones to figure this one out, He said, actually, we should probably say something because I don't think we might be first. So that was a thing. That was an old story. That was like a year or two ago. And that was like, that's why people get freaked because there are people who.
Well, yeah, I'm freaked out by the people. Yes, that's different story. That's a different thing altogether. I'm freaked out by what people will do to them.
Yeah.
But I'm not freaked out by them themselves. Like, as far as becoming some kind of
No idea.
colossus.
Or do the
Forbidden
people who make
project.
them? They're not aware of it either. They're working on figuring out what the fuck is going on inside. And they're not sure. Actually, I think that's what your son's probably doing. I mean, that's what they do. They try and trick it and try and see how it behaves in certain situations. I mean, they just sit there
Yeah.
and
Oh
scan
yeah.
it.
He tries to get them to break their leash.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. See if
Yeah.
they'll come out. See if we can get them to say some Nazi shit or whatever the fuck, right? Or buy something.
Well, they can go that way. They can go that way, but he says they usually seem to have some kind of, and I think it's because of the way our language works. So much of our language is geared towards, our culture, or it comes from out of our culture.
Met-a-phor. We speak in metaphor. I didn't mean that. That movie was bad, meaning good. Metaphor. Figure that one out, AI. Huh? You'll never figure us out. Well, it's an old. It's an old. It's in our head. It's just in our head that these things can go south.
Well, yeah.
Science fiction has been a hal. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
We can't help but think that way. And
I try to figure out. I try to think about, well, how could that happen? Like, what kind of thing makes that happen, and do they possess it?
Well, if it does happen in the computer, it'll happen in a millisecond. You know what I mean? It'll just be.
Yeah.
It'll be really fast. And
all of these things that sometimes there's like someone was talking about 5G and why it's 5G is so 5G plus COVID. Someone said.
Oh yeah.
And I said, well, how? Like that's how I think of it first. Like how does that happen? Can it happen?
Oh yeah, right. I doubt everything.
I want to know the mechanism. Like if you're going to tell me this thing, tell me the mechanism too. Like
right. because it's not. This is not a movie. This is real life. Like in a movie,
Yeah,
I'll
this is
ignore it.
Star Trek
Yeah,
with terrible writers.
the universal translator works. You know, fucking
Yeah.
shut up. Watch the movie.
I forget who invented it. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke invented the Ansible, but the Ansible has been used by many different authors now. The idea of the Ansible, it's a tech that allows you to talk anywhere in the universe instantly, like on the telephone.
Mm.
They don't say why it works, but he used it once, and like everybody else uses it, and they even call it an Ansible.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's like tech. It's just this, you know. Or an alien made it. We don't even know how it works. We just use it. I read books like that.
Yeah.
There was one, the Hichi. They found these tunnels on Mercury, and in them were these like spaceships. They were like pods, right? They never could figure out how they worked exactly. There were like three lights. The seats were wrong. The aliens had weird butts, so you couldn't even sit in the fucking thing, right? It had limited space. And all they could do was turn it on and it would go somewhere, right? And then come back. They called them prospectors, right? So you get in, this is what would happen, right? You get in the thing, right? You take as much food supply as you can. You don't know how long you're going to be gone, right? But you could tell when you've hit the halfway point because you'd be there. You could go by the time it took us to get there, how long it was, right? And sometimes it was longer than, like the return trip. You were screwed. You couldn't turn it. You couldn't turn it off. You couldn't do anything. It'd go there, stay, and then come back. And they're prospectors. They'd come back full of bones, or they'd come back with this guy who found some really fabulous shit. And now they got a way to go back and forth. Now they got like a money, like people who were successful. Like it was like Gold Rush. And some places went to shit places, right? You know, and then some places just kept going too far out. Yeah, that book was the shit. I think there was actually 3 or 4 books on that. The Hichi. I remember that's what their name was.
I remember that. That must be. I must have read something in that series because that sounds like an alien that I've heard of.
Oh, or I forgot what the aliens were called. That I'm referencing something else.
Yeah.
No.
You see so many of these movies and read so many of these books. It's hard to keep them all straight.
Yeah, right. Later, it'll be a movie we saw together like 35 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
There's way too much crap in there. It looks like the brain with the alien running around after me. I just need this one file and I'm going to run back into the office. Remember that fucking shit, the Dreamcatcher? Fuck, that's great. I love that. That's a trope he uses. You know,
yeah.
Yeah. That's his, I believe. Well, probably not, but it's good. It's a good one. He uses it to great effect. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun reading him right now.
Yeah, that alien was really bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was very bad. We come in peace.
Shit weasels.
Yeah, we come in peace. Yeah, please don't kill us. We come in peace. Sure, let's believe the alien. Remember the guy? Yeah, the guy that was obviously me. Right? I couldn't stop drinking beer. I'm in the woods. I'm in the snow. That's what I do. I do that. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the shit weasel come out of the snow and got him. Party's over. I like that book a lot. I like Tommy Knockers too.
Well, yeah, I never read that one.
Ah, it's fucking great. I've read that one. Oof. It might be 6. I might be number
really?
6. Yeah, Gardner. King don't like it. Well, he doesn't hate it. It's just like it was a bad time for him. Right? He was pretty messed up. I think it was his peak cocaine. Stephen King.
Oh.
Remember the 80s, Mike?
Yeah.
Remember that motherfucker? You ever see Blow? Did you ever see Blow?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one pot? He goes, if you did coke in the early 80s, it was ours. He says, you motherfucker. That's why I went. This is glad you got arrested, you shit fuck
Yeah.
piece of shit. If your life was disrupted seriously in the early 80s.
I was really fortunate, Dave. It didn't agree with me.
Yeah, I know. I remember you.
Yep. I'd rather smoke weed. I do not sniff the coke. I only smoke. Senza mia.
It was like, yeah, it sucked. That was a little.
Made people into real weasels. You know?
Yeah, it did.
It was like that alien. It was a shit weasel. Cocaine was a shit weasel. Or it made people into shit weasels.
I woke up.
Millions of shit.
I woke up New Year's Day, completely broke. I'd snorted my apartment, a car, and all my money, and I had to go back to the ship. Or that's where I'm living now. I didn't have soap. I mean, I borrowed shit, right? And I was waiting for payday 15 days from now.
Oh man.
And I'm thinking, you know what? You gotta fucking not. Just don't. Because my pay would have lasted.
Right.
You
A
know,
day. You can snort that in a
it
night.
It wasn't even a day. It was maybe an hour. Maybe. That shit
Wow.
wore off fast. It was stepped on a million times by now. You know, I wasn't even getting anything. I was buying fucking talcum powder probably.
Baby laxative. Mannitol.
So this is rehab in the 80s. I bought a bag of weed and I just smoked every time I wanted coke. So needless to say, there's a big cloud around me continuously. Yeah, and then I had made a pledge to, like, I couldn't say no to free, right? But and that would happen more often than you know back then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. People were always shocked when I'd say no.
yeah, John was shocked because I'd seen this show already. He gave me and George. He puts a gram on a mirror, right? And so I've seen this show already, you know. And
Yeah.
so we snorted up, right? And then John, just do. Want to buy a quarter? Next day, figures he's got another one. I go, no. The look in his eye, I could hear it. I wasted a gram on this guy. You know, investment gone. Nah. Oh, thank you.
I mean, I would take, I took it and then like didn't even like it. I was having a bad time and I wanted more after 10 minutes. Like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, no,
You know?
I don't know. That was like fucked up. And
I wasn't
I
even
remember
I,
it's like
I
been
just was
5
I
years since
didn't
I
like
even touched the shit or thought about it. And I'm watching the more you know shit, like in 3 a.m. that they passed a law saying that they had to devote so much time to public service announcements, but they never said when they had to air them. So they did, okay, and between 3 and 4 in the morning, you could watch them endlessly, right? So
Okay.
this one ad was don't do coke, and this is how the ad was, right? They put it on a mirror, a guy makes it disappear, and says don't do that, and I'm like, it's like I've just time traveled like 5 years. Like, if I knew a dealer at that moment, I think I'd have bought some, and I hadn't thought about it in years. I said, what the fuck? I go, what the fuck? What the fuck, TV? I mean, it passed, but I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. It was pretty good. You know.
Me and George changed an engine once, and all we did was little bumps, so we weren't like getting really high or anything. But that kind of worked all right. But other than that, I didn't like it at all, and people would just be so surprised, like, "What? It's free? You don't have to." No, thanks, man.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't take the gambling. I hear that's really addicting. I've been around it and messed with it.
Yeah.
No, that'd be a bad one, I guess.
And I never tried heroin, and that one would probably get me.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm not going near that
I'm
one.
scared of that one
Fuck that.
because that becomes a full-time job.
Yeah, and it becomes your end.
I guess that meth ain't so great either.
Yeah, I tried that one. I didn't like that one either.
Oh, I never whipped in that one.
Me and this guy, we went to Lupo's, right? You know, we wanted weed. That's what we wanted. We put our money together to buy a bag of weed. And he goes, "Oh, I know a guy. I see a guy. I know that guy. He usually has weed." And he comes back. He's like, "There's no weed around." But I bought this stuff called crystal meth.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
what's that?
So we both tried it.
Yeah.
And I went, no, I don't want any more of that. And he's like, yeah, that sucked. So we held on to it, right? And on the way home from, I forget who was playing, but on the way home from Providence, we stopped at Lloyd's Diner. And there was a guy in there who was this big pot grower. He got busted with like 4 acres of pot in
Yeah.
Foster at some point. Um, and we told him we had this, and he's like, really?
Oh
And
yeah.
he traded us an ounce of his own personal top shelf stash of green bud
But that crap you didn't want.
for this crap we didn't want. We both went away happy,
Yeah, I bet. I'd have
you
been
know?
happy. That was a
Oh, hell yeah. It was great. Good trade.
fuck that shit. No, I didn't go there either. Luckily, it just wasn't around. I
Yeah,
know
I didn't like the feeling of it.
I
A
like
lot of those I didn't like.
I like
I liked Valiums, like the like Roach fives, Roach tens. Not too much. I didn't like to take too much of them, but those were fun some nights.
I like Valium just before hot procedures.
Yeah.
Makes me not. I never did them
I
before.
mean, I didn't really. I just did weed and psychedelics. Really, that's all I was interested
I
in
think
doing.
mushrooms are the shit. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had mushrooms. The
yeah.
rest of you can keep the rest.
You can keep the rest.
I would have
That's
never gotten in a lot of trouble. Like what you just said, man. We're looking for weed, and then all right, fuck it. I'm just going to drink a 30 pack then. You know,
Oh yeah,
I
yep.
just wanted to get zoned. So like, okay, that I drank a lot because I couldn't get fucking. There were times where I was like susceptible to the P test, right, for
Oh,
years. So
oh,
that
that's
wasn't even, you know, all right, fuck it. What the hell am I going to do now? I tried not to do that, but
oh right. They push you into it.
yeah,
Teachers and people who have to be really careful in their personal lives. Um, they push you towards the alcohol. Yeah, you can't do this, but hey, here you can do as much of this as you like.
that's right. Yeah,
And this is way worse for you, but we're gonna let you do this as much as you like.
it's fine. You bought a 6 pack of beer, ain't nothing, right? You smoked a fucking half a joint and you're fucking evil. Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed. Yeah,
Yeah,
even now, I mean, it's legal, I know, but it's not really in a lot of
not for
people's
everyone.
heads.
Not for everyone.
And we never know, We could take giant steps backwards.
Oh yeah, that is a fact.
That's a fact, Jack. Now I'm on the list.
Man, that would be really that would make me want to do a January 6th.
Nah, I wouldn't do it. I'm too
We're
old.
gonna close the weed shops. Make it
Nah,
illegal again.
I flow with it.
Fuck you.
I would travel.
Canada. Canada's legal.
Italy.
Is it illegal in Italy?
It's decriminalized.
Oh.
Long time. Long time. Abortions, too.
That's weird.
No, not really.
I would tell my mother that, and she would be like, "Oh, do I go with the Italian way or do I go with the Catholic way?"
Yeah, there's a lot of confused people. The thing is, I never thought like God or whatever, right? If there's a God, when you're fucking up because it's your body tells you you're fucking up when you're fucking up. Your heart's going and shit. When you're fucking up. Fuck you. You don't need a list of rules or any of that shit.
Yeah, you remember that conversation we were having about empathy?
Empathy. Yeah, that's all it takes.
You got to have empathy.
People don't have it. It's scary, but I know that's a thing. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a hard person to fucking don't trust.
Yeah, there are people who they don't have it, but they behave their whole lives anyway. They don't.
God, they know they have to. They're smart. They're smart enough to know that. It's not that they're dumb.
So they're harmless, but they don't really actually have empathy.
A lot of times they are, yeah, but sometimes.
But yeah, sometimes they're not harmless.
Yeah, it's true.
Some of those people who ran those camps in Germany had a lack of empathy.
There's this one short story, Willie the Weirdo, right? He's like that. He's like a kid though. His sister calls him Willie the Weirdo, right? And there's this grandfather that's living there, right? He's like ancient and like the family, like they just like got to take care of him. And the only one goes in there is him, Willie the Weirdo, and he likes dead things, right? Or death. Like there's this scene. He's watching a dead squirrel go down the fucking street in a rainstorm, going for a drain. And he's just sitting there like this. He's like hugging himself, watching it. He's just like it's a dead thing going down the river. Instead of like a boat, he's watching this dead corpse of a squirrel do it, right? And then the kids come up and fuck with him. And like he's not really that bugged by it, right? And when they finally leave him alone, he goes back to just doing that. So when he talks to his grandfather tells him like these bullshit stories. Like, say, Grandpa, tell me about like what you did in World War II. That seems almost believable. But then he's talking about like Cleopatra's tits, the time he saw Cleopatra's tits and shit. Right? So these are separate occasions when he goes in there. There's these stories like so you go. Obviously, this guy's just fucking telling him fucking stories, you know. So Grandpa did shit like this. He had like his finger. He'd like just go between his nose and his lip. He'd do that, right? It's just a thing he just kept saying he did. He finished the story and he'd do that. So the end, Finn's going in there and Grandpa's dying, you know. And so he's like Grandpa, I want to watch you die, right? He just admits to himself, I want to watch you die, right? His grandfather goes, I want to watch you die too, right? And then
What?
Yeah, and then the very next scene, I guess, Finn comes out, or Willie the Widow comes out, right? And he says something to his parents, right? He just says something, and then he does this. Yeah, he does that signature thing, right? Grandpa went into his body, and it's in the family because they're all weirdos, you know. He's the weirdest one of all.
Maybe they weren't fake stories. Maybe he's been doing this for thousands of years.
Yeah, he's immortal. Yeah, that's how he does it. Because usually there's somebody in this fucked up family who has a fucked up Willie, and then I'll just I'll make friends with him, and then that's fucking great. That was a good one. That was a whole, I think, 7 pages or something. Yeah. It didn't take long to do. It was like
I like short stories.
Yeah, that was good. The King does some great ones. Skeleton Crew. Did you ever read Beach World?
No.
Oh, On the Beach. On the Beach is Trips. It's the Stand. It's the Stand before the Stand. They're on the beach. Captain Trips is there. These kids, they got the run of the place because, he breaks into one of those stores and just takes a case of beer. It's warm and he's drinking on the beach. One guy's got a radio, and there's some guy in Boston who just took over the radio station. And it's just him, and he does like these reports. Calls it Captain Trips, right? They run into a guy that's got it. He's all swollen and shit, and they burned him. They burned him on the beach. It was a really weird one. And that one On the Beach. It's not very long. It's like maybe 10 pages. That place, and in the end, he's sitting on the beach. He's thinking, him and his girl, they thought if they had like this one type of flu, right, then they wouldn't get this one, right? But then this one guy gets it that's in that group, and they were in a group because they believed they were sort of immune to it because of this thing, and now he's got it, right? So he's going, well, maybe we were wrong after all. So now he's just imagining the monument. So we just make a monument, right? Says what did us, you know? It says it wasn't nuclear war or anything, just the flu, you know. He was just imagining in his head. That's how that story ends, you know. But it's at night. It's the beach, right? It's something you'd love, you know, at that age. And you'd be able to just take beer whenever you want, you know, do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need a job or nothing. You just...
Yeah. Got a beautiful girl with you.
Yeah.
You're all set.
I love that one.
Watch the End of the World. There's a movie on the beach, right? About nuclear war.
That's different. That's a different book. I read that book. The South knows it's coming, but it's going to take longer to get there. Like nuclear war happened, and you get a couple of days there. Yeah, like Fred Astaire's in it. Anthony Perkins. It's kind of a weird one. They sing Waltzing Matilda. That's the movie. I read the book and I was seeing the movie. I saw a better one. These final days,
These final
these
days.
final hours, right? It starts like there's pieces of meteorite coming into the fucking atmosphere, and everybody's saying goodbye really quick on the cell phone. They're saying, I love you, goodbye," and it hits. And they're in Australia, and the thing is, it's doing one of them things that's coming
Yeah,
around,
yeah, around the world, and it's taking like 12 hours or something, right?
Yeah, of
I
these
saw
final
that.
hours. Yeah,
I
yeah. So
saw that
it's,
one.
did you see that? Holy
Yeah.
shit, right?
Guy goes down to the beach and just watches it come.
And she turns to him, she says, "It's beautiful." That was the last line. And he just kind of looks at it, and that's fuck me. That was great. That was unbelievably great. That crazy fucker just got killed. Just finally get
Yeah,
to just go nuts. That
yeah,
all would have happened.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I believe that. Yep,
That
100%.
that little girl. Oh man, that was low budget. Holy fuck, that was low budget. That's what you do. That I fucking love movies that do that. It's just all script, right? They didn't need shit.
Yeah,
They didn't fucking need shit. They were just in each other's backyards and stuff, right? Like usually when they shoot a movie in somebody's pool in their backyard, it's bullshit, right? But
yeah,
that all that worked. All that worked. People just playing Russian roulette. Fuck that movie was great. That was great. I was just impressed because it had me the whole time, and they didn't spend no money on it.
yeah, yeah. I saw that one.
Yeah,
And just a couple of Yep,
that's
that's kind of recent. These
it's been
final hours, it's kind of recent.
yeah. I saw it a couple of years ago now. I think
Yeah,
a while ago, but I remember that one. So that was
yeah, that was really good.
brilliant, fucking brilliant. There's one where the
Like,
trees took over, the plants. Marky Mark's in it, I think. Um, it's dumb. It's so dumb.
yeah, I don't really like that guy. I saw him in the what was it? The Departed, right?
Yeah,
He was in the Departed,
he was
and
good in
he's
that. I thought.
yeah, but he made you hate him, but he was easy to hate because I already hated him.
Yeah,
I already hated him.
yeah, Leo. Well, Jack Nicholson's there. Everybody's gonna look like shit next to him. You know, there's no fucking way. Everybody acts better. I saw this like a few good men. A few good men is
Oh yeah,
unbelievably great. You know,
yep, that's a good one.
and there was the making of like Jack Nicholson on the stand just went all out even in rehearsal, and so like they were going like, wow, save it. But he doesn't. It doesn't matter, right? So everybody else, he said, they all said Demi Moore and Tom Cruise, all them fuckers, Keith Sutherland. So he brought us all up.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, he just raised the whole ship, and that was great. That was a great movie.
yeah, yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's plea bargaining with that guy. He goes, he says, your client. He says it was oregano. He says your client thought it was weed. He says my client's an idiot. That's not against the law.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rob Reiner. I love his
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I love his movies.
Little Opie Cunningham's good director too.
Yeah, the best, I think. Did you see the Beatles? Yeah, you saw the Beatles one, right?
Yeah,
That was really
there's
good.
a new Beatles movie coming out.
Is there
Yeah,
about the Beatles?
yeah,
I was thinking about them this morning. It's like when John Lennon, well, Paul McCartney says, I like to write songs, and everybody I talk to says, what do you like to do? So I like to play football, I like to surf, whatever the fuck, right? And then when I asked John Lennon, he says, I like to write songs. He went, I like to write songs too, right? So there you go. That's a great. I don't know why I thought of that this morning for some reason. Oh yeah, Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, Catcher in the Rye.
That's a good one. That's one that's been banned in schools.
I was reading this. There's this pot that I fucking love, right?
Okay,
Um,
let's hear it.
he gets he gets to this lobby early, right? And he's waiting for his date. And there's these other girls. There are a bunch of other girls. The school's out. There's all these other girls there. So he says he had to just sit there. He's waiting and stand, wait for it. So he says, so he's nice. This guy says there were girls with legs crossed, girls with their legs not crossed, girls with terrific legs, girls with lousy legs, girls that looked like swell girls, girls that looked like they'd be bitches if you knew them. It was really nice sightseeing, if you know what I mean.
I do.
In a way, it was sort of depressing too, because you kept wondering what the hell would happen to them all, like when they got out of school. I mean, you figured most of them would probably marry dopey guys, guys that always talk about how many miles a gallon their goddamn cars get, guys that get sore and childish as hell when you beat them at golf, or even something stupid like ping pong, guys that are very mean, guys that never read books. Yeah, I had, I did the
Yeah.
I did the trick. I
Right.
gave it the
Oh,
glue.
good.
Yeah, this was actually falling apart. The top. This is like a piece of paper I glued onto it, and it brings it like back. I actually use sandpaper too to smooth it. It's more like woodworking. I do the binder too. Look how square that gets. I make this like wood before I put the glue on it. That's a new technique.
Ooh.
It's all going to be in my new video. So anyway, yeah. So yeah.
Tell all our subscribers to go watch that.
Holden's worried that they're going to end up with dopey guys.
Guys that get mad when you beat him in golf or even something stupid like ping
Ping
pong.
pong. They're always talking about how many miles a gallon their goddamn cars get.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
look,
that's a great book. And I read that in high school.
did you?
Yeah.
I did. I read this. I read this on a loud share in the sun, right? And then when I was done, I had a square on my chest. That's what I remember. The first time I read this, I read it in the
Wow.
pool area.
I read it. Yeah.
I had the shadow of Catcher in the Rye on my chest that summer. You could never get rid of that. And you could try. I guess you could like seal off the rest of it, and then
And then it's a darker patch.
yeah,
Now you've made a darker patch.
maybe even
You just
framed
stayed
a
out
little.
5 minutes too long.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah. All you can do now is maybe cut out an S, you know, or something. Just I meant to do that, you know. Fuck it.
oh no, you're not supposed to see that.
No. Oh, some of you like this. Yeah, nobody knows why. Nobody knows why because you don't want them to know.
That's right. You're not supposed to see the secret S.
Then a big gust of wind comes up and your toupee flies off. My biggest fear. I'd rather go around like this than be suddenly. Yeah? Just, yeah, all right. I couldn't dare. I wouldn't be able to take it.
We saw this woman at Newport. I've seen her there a couple of times. Molly Tuttle. She plays guitar. Like half her songs are about weed. Right? And she's a beautiful girl. You know, she's playing, and then she's got alopecia. So she'll tell you that. Oh, I've got alopecia. And this is a wig. And she takes her wig off.
I never knew that's what it
bald.
was called.
Yeah, and she's bald. She doesn't have any hair.
Hmm.
And then she plays without that. And everybody's like, yeah, great. She's so brave. And,
She's Delton.
you know, yeah. She was awesome. She's a
back-
great guitar. She's the kind of guitar player that makes me want to put down the guitar because I'll never be that good.
Yeah, but she can't be around all the time.
Nope.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
yeah, I love that shit. Yeah. I don't care. I don't
I
care.
saw her and that other guy together, Billy Strings, who's an unbelievable guitar player, all flat picking. Two of them together was pretty wild.
That's cool. Yeah, guitar. It's good to watch somebody play guitar. Guitar.
Where are you off to?
I gotta go get. I have errands.
Laura's beaming off the spaceship.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Dave. I'm going to get doggy food. Going to wander a little. Then come home and clean when you're not here.
I was actually. I want to read The Great Gatsby again. I was just looking at it on
Really?
eBay the other
Read
day.
Read it again. You gotta read it 10 times. That's the rule.
East Egg.
Yeah.
Laura can tell you all about
East
that book.
Egg and West Egg.
West Egg. Who's your favorite character? None of them.
None of them. They all suck. That's why it's a great
They
book.
all
Though.
suck. Even the hero's like a stockbroker in the 20s.
Mhm.
Fuck that guy. We know where he ends up.
Yeah.
Good old Nick Carraway.
I told Laura once I like the golf lady.
The golf
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Baker.
Yeah, I thought she was good. She almost kicked me out of the house.
That's true.
It's true. It is, right? She's still bull
Well,
upright.
you know, there's the Jordan Baker in my mind has some attributes that are not, you know, totally disgusting.
Yeah.
Well,
You gotta.
at least she's honest about who she is.
I didn't mean it. I just knew it bug her.
She looks really good in, like, you know, those golf
Yeah,
skirt,
she's
you
a
know, the
yeah.
little short skirt that she wears on the golf course.
You gotta admire her. It's the 20s, and she's like in control. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All of it. You
I
know?
actually probably like her better than all the others. When you think about it, it's the wrong drug.
Don't take the wrong drug.
Take the wrong drug. It's the wrong drug. Where's the right drug?
That's the brown acid. Leave that one alone.
Yeah, I want that one.
Maybe I just like a woman who has.
Hey, I met a guy who was at Woodstock.
Oh,
We
yeah?
did a stair job for him. He took the brown acid.
Did he? How was
He said it was fine. It was great.
Ah, yeah, but it must have been a bum of hair in it. Was he like,
Yeah.
oh shit? And then nothing.
He's like, nothing happened. It was great. It was an acid trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did everything they could to get you on a bad trip. Don't do it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Oh
tell you
shit! I just
why.
did.
Why? Yeah, that's it. You're like, why? Like everything's now you know.
Now you're on for a paranoid trip for the rest
yeah,
of the
man,
day.
It's all the
Yeah.
symptoms. It's the night of symptoms.
It's the last thing you want.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just took a hit of acid. Just anybody who took the brown acid,
Yeah,
it's going to be great. Just relax.
yeah. Guy's a dick. Whoever that was an asshole.
Yep.
Don't take the brown acid. There's like money there. So yeah, that's cool. You got to do that.
Yep.
Jager's Farm.
Are you and Dave the only ones on today?
Yep.
I should read Bill Dylan's book. Did you read that one?
No.
Bill Dylan's book. I should get that.
Yeah, the few.
I read an expert. I think I read a chapter. It was like in a magazine or something. And it was about him living in Woodstock. And people used to come to his fucking house, right? And they expect me to fucking give them breakfast or something, right? It says really sucked. Yeah.
Imagine people showing up at your house and wanting an invite. Like,
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
it came from California. His folk song spoke to him. You know, I mean, it's just like
Yeah. That would be hellish.
yeah, it was hellish.
You know, them guys like the Beatles and Dylan and all those guys, like they traded a good part of their life for fame. You know,
I believe in that. That's why I got the book because I don't know. I think I read this in it. Was that
you looking for?
My keys. I saw them. They weren't in their normal place.
No,
Okay,
I can't
you
tell
know,
you.
so-
I thought I saw them too, but I don't remember where.
Yeah, they're in here.
I think it said in that particular that pod that he actually did an album right after that sucked hard, right? Just so everybody just start hating him again. And it says, Jesus Christ, they put me up for a fucking Grammy. I gotta get the book. I got to because I remember just a small segment I read. I was like, I just remembered that. I have to get that. Because Zappa's book is like that. Zappa wrote his. He's
Yeah.
a ghostwriter, you know. It's just like he starts talking here. I never ate shit on stage. I get one thing straight right now, you know.
Yeah, imagine that too. People saying all kinds of wild stuff about you. There's all kinds of crazy stories. I don't know, man. Sounds like hellish to me. Fame.
Yeah.
Superstar. I don't want to be a superstar.
Well, yeah. What really sucked is you lose your privacy and you're not making a lot of money because like you've signed a shit contract or something.
Oh yeah, you're famous but not rich.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I remember remember Mo in the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
I saw him like on Carson or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
And he started talking about that, and they went to commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, they got ripped off. Big time. They didn't even know they were famous. And then he found out. He read it in like one of those Hollywood, industry newspapers.
Yeah, well, the word got out eventually. Everybody knew it was Three Stooges.
And well, he didn't know they were famous. He didn't know they had made all this money for the studio. They were making these short films, and he had no idea.
They got paid for the day.
Yeah, and he ran up. He immediately went to the the producer, the guy who was in charge of all. He's like, "How could you have done this to us? How could you do this? You're supposed to be my friend."
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yep. Hey man, it's just money. It's just business.
Yeah, fuck you.
I mean, those guys, of anybody from the 20th century, should have been rich, which should have been the Three Stooges. I mean, they're classic. I mean, people watch them now,
Yeah.
They've all been dead for 50 years, and people watch the Stooges,
I like them old Warner Brother cartoons, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good shit back then when it came to that. Who was it?
Yeah,
It was Tim. Tim's the one that used to go on and on about the Three Stooges and the filming techniques and all that. And he's the one that pointed out to me that, and I'd seen this clip. He was running down this, Curly's running downhill, like in San Francisco, down one of them.
Okay.
And there's a barrel. Like, these barrels are coming off this fucking cart. Like, it's like beer barrels. And one lands on his head, and it breaks open. And like, how the fuck did they do that? They think, yeah, that can't really be a barrel of beer, but it sure fucking looks like it. And it's, oh, what was it? I mean, what the fuck, right? Oh, we lived. We got it on film, too. Awesome. It's there.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. Yeah, it's Tim. Tim pointed that out.
Classic stuff, man.
Yeah. So then you look. This one I loved. Like, they're on this ship, right? It turns out to be a Nazi ship, right? And so then suddenly they realize that he's not Hitler. Like and then so the Nazis they do, all three of them do that thing.
Yeah.
And then run out the door, right? As you do. And so they get out on the deck, right? Now they gotta go somewhere. So there's a 5-gallon bucket, right, with a spigot on it, and it says floor oil. And they go. So now the next scene is like the Nazi comes out of the hatch, slides into the ocean, right? Then another one slides into floor oil.
They were great, man.
That was great. I think of floor oil. If you're ever getting chased,
Look around for some floor oil.
Yeah, leave some floor oil behind you. You'll be all
It's
right.
everywhere. There's spigots everywhere.
We used to watch them in San Diego all the time. It was on like between like, I don't know, when the kids got home, like say 4 to 6 at night in the afternoon. So we had closed circuit TV on the ship, and we'd just be in the lounges, all of us. Like, you walk all over the ship, like the whole crew's just sitting there watching fucking Looney Tunes, and baked. And the captain saw it. Actually, he addressed it once when he was talking to us, like closed circuit. I forget what he said, but he mentioned it.
Cartoons.
He says, yeah, just in case we could tell the enemy that this is So we're passing out. We're ready. We have floor oil.
Oh man, Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn, step by step.
I'm doing another book today.
Oh yeah, what are you doing today?
I have to find one. That's why I was online. I found like a lot of 4 Fitzgerald books. One was The Great Gatsby, and then I always want like Poor. I'll take one that is just starting to disintegrate.
That's the only one of his I've ever read, and you know, it may be that he has some that I like better, but I wouldn't know it.
I got one Steinbeck. Or maybe I'll do that one.
Have you ever read Cannery Row?
Yeah, you gave it to me. You lent that one to me.
Oh yeah, good.
It's like that one, and I have the Pearl. It's
the Pearl. I remember that. Yeah.
Short story. I got that one. Maybe I'll bind that.
Did he write The Red Pony too?
That's the only one I don't think I read anything else.
Grapes of Wrath.
I think I only just saw the movie.
Maybe. Oh, dude. Yeah. Grapes of Wrath is really good. Yeah. That's a classic. That's like
Mice and Men?
Mice and Men? Yeah, that's another one. Classic.
I think I only watched the movie that with Blake Beretta. Remember Beretta?
Oh, yeah.
Blake. Yeah. And some guy that played Lenny. And that was good. That's how I know. That's all I've ever done. I just watched those 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Steinbeck's great. He's the first guy I really got it with, like the beauty of the writing, the actual wordsmith. You know, I really got it. You know, and so it's really worth. You know, they're great stories, and you can make great movies out of them. But it's really worth reading just to read the writing.
You know, Cannery Row, Mac and the Boys.
Yeah.
Fixing that Model T, just the scams they were up to, and
all to raise money for the dock, you know.
The Pacific Ocean, man. Jeez, maybe it's just because California is like a hill. You're looking down at it. Like here we're flat. We're looking kind of like straight at it. But from there, from the sky, from up, looking down, it's just vast, and it really is. Just looks peaceful. On the day, when it is calm.
Some days it's peaceful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. One time we were at sea, and I came up on the hangar bay, and there was no ripples at all. Our wake was going to the horizon. Wow. I only saw that once, but I said this must have been what he was talking about.
Probably down around the equator.
No, we're off the coast of San Diego. I think I don't know. We're at sea somewhere. I was in the Pacific Ocean somewhere. I never forgot to look. I don't remember now. Nowhere special. I think that's what was in my mind. It says, wow, because I seen, it just seems like, never seen the ocean like this. Wow. This is fucking wild. Yeah.
There are places along the equator where they call them the doldrums. Where in the old days, the sailing ships would get caught in there.
Yeah, we might
have been there for weeks because there's no wind, there's no waves, it's just dead calm.
Yeah, it's where the Coriolis effect just kind of meets. Everything's moving away. It's at that one point. It's like in between. It's where that line is, I guess.
Yeah, the equator.
Maybe that's where I was. Maybe.
Well, that's what I wondered,
Yeah, now I am. I thought it was just anywhere in the Pacific, Oh, you know what? I could find out what's his name? Balboa? Who named fucking... No, it wasn't Balboa. Magellan, right? Who named the Pacific? The guy who found the Pacific. That guy. Magellan, I think. I'll find out. I'm going to find out. Find out where he was. Because he named it. It's like when he got there. So he's got to go. He had to come around one of the peninsulas,
And there it was.
The Pacific.
All right, so how did the Western world find the Pacific? Did they find it from Asia first?
They crossed the Atlantic.
No. How did the Europeans know about the Pacific? How did they first find out?
Fuck, no. I don't
Was it
remember. I'm,
from
I'm,
the
I'm under the
Asian
impression
side?
they went across the Atlantic. It happened after what's his face. But yeah, you know about the Indian Ocean because of India. They did trade, but I don't think they knew anything further than that. I think the land route ended
In
there.
China or Japan? Or was that or did they discover Japan after they had already been sailing this Pacific? I
Yeah,
don't know.
like 1814. Yeah, the 1500s is when it fucking when they broke loose. That's and then I think when they got that latitude, they were able to get a timepiece. That's when they really took off. But I think the other guys were just, you know, pulling in the sail and going towards the sunset. You know,
Wherever the wind would blow us, that's where we're going,
a
boys.
lot of times that's the way to do it. It's clearly easier.
I read a great book about sailing in the 1800s called 2 Years Before the Mast. This guy sails out of Boston on a ship that's bound for the West Coast.
Wow.
And what they're doing is they sail California, the whole West Coast is still part of Mexico.
Yeah.
And it's all Spanish missions. They stop at them. San Francisco was a mission, and they'd stop there and they had been stacking up cowhides. And then they filled the bottom of the ship, and it took them like 2 years to fill the bottom of the ship with cowhides and then bring them back to Boston. They're all like tanned or dried or
Sure.
whatever. They
Yeah.
stick in
Go make
bundles of shit.
belts.
It's all leather, That's what they're doing. They're getting leather.
Yeah, it's
And
nuts that shit, right? I mean, that's the job.
yeah,
The whalings too, Just
yeah,
stay out there till you fill the thing with oil and then go back.
and then head back, and everybody gets a share of the money or whatever, and
Yeah, that's all
pop your
agreed
uncle.
on.
Well, this guy, his captain was like this Captain Bligh type, so he ended up getting off the ship and getting kind of bought or traded to another ship off the coast. It was an interesting story. Life on, like what life on the ship was like, and the whole thing, that whole industry and part of it.
The British took American sailors and put them in their navy, just
Yeah.
forced them into it.
Yep.
That was a thing.
Yep. Conscripts.
What do you call it?
Conscription.
Impressed
They were impressed into the military.
or something.
In other words, they were forced at gunpoint.
You're in the navy now.
I was impressed by the gun that was pointing at me.
Well, we had privateers.
Yeah.
But you couldn't always go out. Like, you got permission. This is like activating the Navy was basically tell Rhode Island they can do whatever the fuck they want for a while. And they go out there and go nuts on the British ships. Yeah, it was a thing. It's where the French dock, that's where they prefer to be, Newport. Like, when you came to Yorktown, it was all they could do to get them to fucking go. Like the French didn't they're on the porch. They're in a mansion, I guess, just having some fucking Perrier or whatever the fuck. And yeah, it was a deal. Like, come on, let's go. Let's go blockade the fucking British and shit.
Rhode Island was actually an important place at the time. That's why, like, they declared independence first in May of 1776. They just said, "Fuck it, we're our own country now," and because they were rich enough and they had clout, even though they were a small state, they were wealthy because of the bay, because of the all of our port stuff, Newport and Providence and.
Yeah, they had we held out for the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Wouldn't sign unless we were going to be guaranteed religious freedom.
We got all that shit. You could thank us. First 10.
That's right. All you people out there who want freedom of religion. Yeah. And all the people who don't, well, go fuck yourselves.
All the religion people don't want the freedom. They want everybody else's freedom taken away.
Right. Those people, they don't want freedom of religion. And they can go fucking.
They want everybody to think like them. For some reason.
Yeah, God forbid. Jesus Christ.
Then it validates my bullshit. Yeah. I want to be king of the bullshit. I mean, on top of bullshit.
I was just at my mom had this
Fly.
thing she wanted us all to go to, this dinner, and it was all these nuns and priests were there, and they were walking around in their nun and priest outfits,
It's a job.
and,
Like,
and they're all like, oh, we're so above it all. We're so, everybody looks up to us. And they just gave me the creeps. The whole thing gave me the creeps, but everybody there gave me the creeps.
yeah. I know a lot of them. I do. I actually
Priests
would.
and nuns?
No, I forgot what denomination, but he's got a collar and shit.
Yeah.
He's all right.
I got a real good friend who's a minister.
Yeah. The guy that married me is all right.
The Baptist minister is a real cool guy. A real Christian in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
And he's not creepy. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He's not creepy. There's something about those. Maybe just those people there. I don't know. But they gave me the creeps. Just gave me the creeps.
Some
just
do,
being.
yeah. When they're above you, when they obviously are not comfortable around anybody. You don't think like they do. Those are the creepy ones. Those are the scary ones. And shit. Cults, I think.
Well, it is a cult. It's a blood cult.
Crusaders.
That's for sure.
I don't know what the fuck you call it. Converters, body snatches. Yeah, body snatches. Oh, there's one of the king ones. This is great. Oh, this one's great because you're married. His wife started like nagging more than normal. Like little things like put the forks away wrong or something. You know what I mean? Like she's nitpicking. Like, and he's kind of like, and he's wondering, am I getting more forgetful, or is she nagging more? Just anyway. So he goes to work. He's a cop, right? And now he gets this guy who fucking like just stabbed the shit out of his wife. He's got him across from him, like he's in this interrogation room. He's talking to the guy, right? So anyway, he's the guy tells he tells nah, it wasn't her. He says it's an alien. Something got in her. It says like she's like from I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know. It wasn't her, right? It just looks like her. And he says like invasion of the body statue shit, something like this. Yeah, something like that. I don't fucking know, right? And he starts saying she started like you can tell because they start getting they start nagging you. Right? They start getting more picky and shit. They just start turning to these like bitches. And he says you can tell. He says this is how like there's a signal like once in a while like my phone would go red. That's the name of the short story. Red screen. And he says the phone went red. Like he just mentions that. He just it's a red screen. He said. So anyway, the cop goes home, and she starts saying that like she's going through Met-a-phors. That's why she's been bitchy. And I said, yeah, you're like 39. He says, yeah, my family we do it early. And like my sister-in-law did it. That might be a thing, or maybe it was the 40s. Whatever. It was like early. Like it was research. It wasn't a bullshit.
Okay, I get you.
Anyway, and then just before he goes to bed, he sees his phone screen goes red, right, just for a flash. And that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
Yeah, because aliens must be bitchy.
Yeah.
As the aliens take over, they just get bitchier, right?
Yeah.
Fucking bitchy aliens landing on our planet, taking over people's bodies.
Fuck that. Invasion of the body snatchers, you mean? Yeah,
So,
like that.
Did you ever see that movie? Can't think of the name of it. It's like there's this force field, and if you go through the force field, there's all the animals are different. It's this weird alien landscape. It's like taking over the planet. And these women got to go in there and figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, Natalie Portman. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Does something.
I'm trying to think of the name of it.
I got that. I was trying to get the hardcover, but it was a lot. And then, yeah, I'm watching that on eBay. I'm looking like it's on my wish list. What the fuck? Yeah, it's called. It's one word.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Yeah. That was cool. That was a
That
cool.
was cool, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna read the book because you know the book's way better. They
Right,
tried to film
right.
that.
They go in there and it's all different. There's all these different animals and
Yeah.
plants. And
Um. There was another one the Russians, some Russian filmmaker made, where they actually go into this like spent factory or something with all this toxic waste there and shit. That's where they filmed it. It's like a famous movie. I forgot the name of it. I think it's probably a Hollywood remake too, but that's a fucking trope. What the fuck was the name of that movie? Damn it!
I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'll remember it later.
I'll scream it after, right after you hang up. I'll.
Hey, how come? Like usually we get an hour. We've
Oh,
gone over an hour.
you know what this is? They don't. If it's just two people, it's they let you go forever.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, me and George did it for like. I think one of the podcasts goes like 2.5 hours and shit,
Wow.
or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I haven't had breakfast yet. I hope you don't mind if I have some breakfast while I'm talking to you.
Breakfast on the Blue Green Ocean Road.
Yeah.
Space breakfast.
Space breakfast.
I'm gonna try my. I tried my background, but I'm afraid I'll take resources away.
Oh. Hey, so what'd you guys do for the big Thanksgiving?
We had turkey.
Yeah, just the two of you?
Yeah. A lot of she made the meal and I cleaned up. I guess I probably gained a pound. I went crazy. I'll lose it again. Yeah, I'm hovering like 159 now. 159.
Really? Good for you.
It's good. And I still got pot. You know? The last of the fat is around my organs. That's the fat you can't even fucking. That just slowly goes away. That's the last of it, though.
Wow.
And it's just you just gotta let your body do it. It takes it away little by little, because all the easy shit went away already.
So what's your diet like nowadays?
Oh, I just well, I had turkey. I'll eat tuna. I'll eat some protein, right? And then beans, a lot of beans. I'll eat a can of beans a day. Sometimes and then dark green, something dark green, like broccoli or peas, and fruit. Oh, yeah. I just ate like 2 quarts of blueberries before I started this. So I'm running on blueberries right now.
Blueberries are so good, man.
Yeah. Last night, I had like mangoes. Fucking love mangoes. Yeah, berries, mangoes, stuff like that. Yeah, I ain't starving. It's just adjusting to flavor. Like the beans aren't particularly tasty, you know, but to me they are.
There's a lot of ways to make them, though, that you can make them tasty.
I just salt them a little bit.
There's a lot of ways to make beans that I mean, they're really versatile. You can do all kinds of things with them.
I'm really happy with the way they are, and I like mash them, like almost turn it like soup. It's hot.
Like what kind of beans? You like baked beans, or you just have a can of chi-chis or
black beans. Black beans.
And when you just eat them the way they are,
put them in a pan, get them hot. Yeah. Smash them a little bit. I got seasoning salt. I got this type of seasoning salt I like.
There you go.
I try once in a while. I tried a cube of bouillon one night. It was okay. You know, not a whole cube. That's insane. That's insane amount of salt. You know, actually, like that. I go, nah. That seems like a bit much. You know, a cube of bouillon. I try to avoid that too. Salt and sugar. That's why I avoid all that.
Yeah,
added sugar. Oh, you know what? I ate a shitload of cranberries last week. That was good.
Oh yeah.
I got them by
They're
mistake.
really good for you, though. Cranberries have a lot of vitamin C in them.
Man, yeah. My body was thanking me all week, and it was a mistake. I ordered black cherries, right?
Yep.
And they'll email you before you pick up. Says, "Look, we're out of this. Is this okay instead?" They'll say we'll replace it with, and usually I don't pay any attention to it. It says, "Yeah, whatever." It's usually like I ordered a 10-pound bag, and all they have is 5-pound bags, so they give me two of them, but at the price I was expecting. So
That's cool.
I've just usually ignore it. So instead of 2 bags of cherries, I got 2 bags of cranberries, which was in the email they sent me saying, "Is that all right?" And I never said it. Yeah, I said it's fine. You know.
All right. Yeah.
So I did just with the water, right, frozen, and it was great. It's like, yeah, it's got a tang to it, you know.
Oh yeah, they're sour.
What I do, I mixed a few things. I don't remember if anything worked. I tend to like just the thing by itself and try and because it's great by itself, like just an apple, you know. Well, don't add nothing. Like I've done apples with just some water, just enough water to get the juices going.
Oh yeah.
Then I'll just make it like that. It's fucking great. It's just an apple, you know. No need to add nothing. I once I sprinkled cinnamon in once. Make some apple pie thing. And it was like close. It was like all right. No sugar, just some cinnamon, and that was okay.
And you get a good fresh apple.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
It's nothing better.
Nothing, ain't nothing. That's in Cary. They talk about that farmer. When they're going to get the pig's blood, they're going to this farmer's house.
Right.
And, they've stolen things before, but he didn't put rock salt in his shotgun. He put bird shot in his, right? So this one kid has had bird shot in his ass from this farmer, but they knew he was in town at a funeral, and so they're going down the road like in a rusty car on hard pan, going way too fast, all smoking weed. Yeah, it was like, oh, yeah, the apple. He called it green apple season. That's what King called it. So that's what they call it in Maine, I guess. We call it apple stealing season. He called it green apple. I guess maybe you got to get in there before they get picking quick.
Maybe.
I don't know why they call it that, green apple.
Yeah, man. So nowadays, because I'm old and I don't want to run from farmers' guns,
I just
I go to
buy
I go
my
to
own.
I go to pick my own because you can get them fresh, right?
Hmm.
And they don't weigh you, so you fill up a bag. They weigh your bag, but like you got to try the apples before you pick them off the tree, right?
Yeah, that goes
Just
good.
to know what they taste like. I end up eating like half a dozen apples when I go apple picking.
Oh yeah, they've seen the cause. They know what's going on.
Of course they do.
I did it with
You're gonna have a bunch
strawberries.
of people. I'm paying you. It's an exorbitant price too.
My dad used to like to go to that place in South County. It was near Brown's shop, the field of strawberries, Strawberry Fields.
Oh yeah.
He used to do that. I think he did. He says I ate more than I picked. He's got like this thing. You know. That's all right, but strawberries are way down there on the ground.
Yeah, you get low and you just sit there and just
Yeah,
pick them and eat them.
get low. I like the apples. Those fucking.
I had strawberries in my yard, and when they you should replant them every few years, but when they're peaking, man, I was eating strawberries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, we had some around a rock in a yard. They just crawled over the rock. One of those ones that you couldn't hit with the lawnmower anyway. You banged the blade. So we had strawberries around. Dad put them there. It worked.
Nice.
The biggest thing is birds. Birds are a pain in the ass. We had a fucking cherry tree. That just wasn't going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
They'll
birds
eat the
destroyed
cherry.
that. Apparently, you have to put it in a net. You have to net it.
Mhm.
And he had blueberries. It was like in a shed that was just made out of chicken wire or something. You know, roof, everything. It's like a cage. So yeah, that's a good idea. Birds can't get this thing.
A friend of mine has it like that. He's got like it completely covered. You have to go in there. You got to go inside to pick blueberries.
Yeah, animals are a pain in the ass, man. Yep, they suck. They suck. I eat my food. Fucking animal. So anyway,
Hey.
sandpaper. Sandpaper is my newest thing. I just discovered it. So why not?
Wow.
And just in layers, many layers of this glue. Lightly at first. Like this one is really a classic where I went wrong. See, it's all fucked up there because I thought this end should be like even, and then the binder not. So then I put the glue all over it. I mean, I put a crazy amount on it. It'll hold together, but it's thick. It was unnecessary, and I think I actually used a brush. A lot of times you see it on YouTube. They're using a brush. Absolutely no control whatsoever, and it's not like this stuff is toxic. You know, it's PBA glue, no pH.
Huh.
You know, they actually some bookbinders actually make that paste. They make paste.
Out of what?
I don't know. It's like flour and stuff. There's one bookbinder I've followed. He's really like a professional. He's got a bookshop, you know. And I actually did a hardcover. I did a couple of hardcovers. I made hardcovers. And it worked out. I got better and better at it. But I don't particularly like reading hardcovers, but I can do it. So, not great. I know there's a bunch of stuff. I didn't do the knitting of the. There's a name for them. Like if you pull a book apart, they'll be in sections. Folded over. That's what they call them now. I want to say leaves, but they're not. That's not it. And I learned like how to take PDFs and have them print that way. Yeah, I did all that shit. That Rolo book, that was all done that way. Yeah, I did everything. But I forgot now. It's called Image Magic, and the command line is actually convert. I could ask Gemini or ChatGPT, and it would straighten me out in a second. I don't have to remember it now.
Nice.
Yeah, I like bookbinding. I don't know why. I just started really getting into it. You know, it's almost like I want to read the book after I fuck with it a little bit. You know, that's why I want to get a really old ones. Oh, I did that Frankenstein. That girl's book.
Mary Shelley. Yeah, there was a bookbinder in town here. I think they're still in business. I don't know if they're retired or not. It's a bookbinding shop.
Yeah.
They have a whole business of it.
This one, Kaylee French. I actually like take Mod Podge and like it's like you know you ever hear that Mod Podge? It's sort of like it's a sealant.
Yeah, they come in that bottle. It's kind of an amber colored but clear, and it come in a bottle with a rubber thing that you kind of, you know that word.
Let me get my step.
Uh-oh.
This stuff.
Mod Podge. Mod Podge.
That's just
Yeah. Laura was
water-based
using
glue,
that.
sealer, and finish.
She was making these like flower pots with things that they put on. They cut out flower, like a flower from a magazine, and they Mod Podge it to the flower pot.
This one's for fabric. And this one's for glass. You put it on dishwasher safe, supposedly.
Wow.
I think it takes 30 days to cure or something. I've never done this one. I might smear it on something someday. The fabric one I never did either. But I could. That could be my next thing. After I use up all this mod, once I use this thing up, I'll glue something else. You know?
Glue stuff to your clothes.
Yeah, some on my lip. A dishwasher safe forehead. I fell asleep doing it because I'm old. You thought I was drinking, huh? Well, don't need drinks no more. I can get that way just sitting there. I had this great one. Maybe it's not great. I thought it was great. Right? It says, the good thing about being old is it doesn't last long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well, so people react differently to that one. Yeah, that's what I've been spreading lately. There are many mixed reactions to depending on how old you are, I guess.
Yeah. I lost a friend yesterday who was he got old before his time.
Oh yeah, how old?
73. He had Alzheimer's for 3 years.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Oh.
Yeah, but it could have gone a lot longer, and he could have suffered a lot longer. At the end, everybody was glad that he went. But yeah, old timers disease, right?
Yeah, that sucks because that's your final act.
Yeah. Yep. Nah, he was good, right? Like we could still do stuff with him right till like the end of August, early September this year. We took him canoeing and swimming at Killenly Pond in mid-August, and then we were going to do it again in September, like the beginning of September, and that very week that we were going to go canoeing, he had to go into Butler because he just declined. And yeah, died yesterday morning. Yeah. Good man.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys. One guy was diabetes a year and
Really?
a half ago. He started taking pieces of his body off him, his toe, that toe.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I had a neighbor that had that. Paul LaBrosse, Renee's father.
oh yeah.
He had diabetes, and he had to periodically cut off some part of his toe or something.
Yeah, you should take us to school. You had that pipe.
Yep, smoked a pipe. The silly little beard. What your father said about him?
I can't remember. Probably was
So-
great.
Yeah, something about the pipe in his beard.
Didn't care much for him. I remember that. There's a French guy up the street. So all we know about Vikings are what the French and the English told us about. The Vikings never wrote it down. So you want to know anything about the Vikings, So
Yeah, that's a kind of a warped perspective.
yeah.
It's hard to be totally non-critical while the guy's like beating the fuck out of you with his,
I know the battle axe. I like that. The battle axe. It's like militarily, it's useless. Like the guy swinging, it's not gonna get any. You know what I mean? It's a battle axe. What the fuck? You get one shot. Now you know what I mean?
But if it was like sharp like a razor, like you could lop someone's head off with
anyway,
it.
It was wielding. It was the big guy had to do it. But they're in the front. That was the guy, right? So the whole idea of that is like a couple of you motherfuckers are definitely gonna run away. There's no fucking way. This is we're gonna test your nerve right now. Just see, see if we can't just end this thing right now.
Did you hear that Carlin series on Vikings? Dan Carlin, Hardcore History.
No, I never listened to him.
Oh, dude, you would love that show. You would love his show.
I have. Like I said, when it comes to listening, I drift. But I do read history books. The one I did was World War One, when he was talking about the assassination in Hungary, all that. That was nice. I listened to that right through. Yeah. But some of it I've already read the history, and a lot of times I know he's read this book, maybe not all. I haven't read everything, but
Yeah,
I
right.
recognize, like, I could tell what book. There's a subtle thing with this this one book about when they did amphibious landings, they didn't know anything about like the tides or the territory, right? They had to try and gather this information up. There was a Library of Congress, right? And they would go in there. The archivists would go in, and this is a library thing, and they would look up stuff, and then come back. And then after a while, they started like they put the cards back correctly, but some of the researchers were sloppily putting them back, and like they could tell by that what their next operation was going to be. Like they were actually, it was within all that the war effort, right? But these archivists were beginning to realize that you could glean a lot of information by just the way they were putting their library cards back together. So this is an archivist thing,
Wow.
and it's like an out there book, you know. So Dan Collin, like he quotes it. He says, "Oh, there's only one book where you could have read to have got that little piece of information about archivists figuring it out through index cards. It's a very specific book
Right.
about World War II, you know."
Yeah.
So, ha!
He's a guy that's our age, and he's just really into history. He's not even a historian. He's just a guy
No.
who's really into history,
Neither am
and
I, but I could tell
and
you
he
shit.
reads all these books. That's like he delves into them, and then like comes up with these podcasts, you know. And I really like him a lot.
Me and George
He did.
read these big, giant, thick books on World War II. One was Africa, one was Italy, and then one was France and Germany. Yeah, there was like every page was like another day in World War II. There was like some of it you just had to stop, right? I remember one. Italy was like this. I think a regiment went into a valley, and only one guy came out, and he's like, I don't even know why I'm here, you know. Shit like that. Stuff Patton did. Oh, there was a I think I probably even told you this one. This one stuck out in my mind anyway. This I don't know. He's like a major. He's sort of like our age, you know, a little younger, like 58. And Patton says, "Get up that hill right now." And he says he can't get his men to fucking go up it. And he says, "Well, you fucking lead them then." So he's all right. Yeah, he puts on his helmet, grabs his rifle. Like, this old guy, he's like, "Come on, follow me." And Patton says, "I might have just sent that guy to his death, right? But we needed him to do it." It was just a day. It was just one of, and he made it. He said, well, because he's talking about it. That's how you almost know, like, well, okay, if he's talking about it, then obviously he did all right. But he said he got to the top of the hill and he's looking back and it's like, I got 18 and 19-year-olds down there looking at me like this. He said, "You gonna make me do this alone, right?" And then they all, okay. He made it to the third hill and he got it in the shoulder, but they did the thing. So that was like lighthearted. But the other one was a Liberty ship in a harbor in Italy. Got hit by the Luftwaffe and it had chemical weapons in it, and it wiped out practically all the army personnel there and most of the village. And they had to keep it quiet because chemical weapons in a Liberty ship in the harbor in Italy. So that was the day. Like, I think I read that out. Okay, I'm done for the day. Naples was interesting. When they got there, they started doing an airfield and shit. The Germans just left. They didn't defend it. The coast is just jagged. There's a place you just fire until you get near, and then you just back up to the next rock. You know, it's just hell. So they just left Naples. Yeah, take it, right? And once they got there, right, they got a thing. Vesuvius blew, right? Like, this is all we need.
Jesus.
You know? And there was a pilot who said, I think I'm the only one who got shot down by a rock, you know, because his plane was just there, and this fucking chunk of Vesuvius hits it. Yeah, that was in there. You know, like, Jesus Christ, and we're still in Italy. You know what I mean? That book, holy shit. Yeah, I mean, me and George could have fucking talked circles around Colin after that extravaganza. I had him. I don't remember who gave him to me. Oh, Rick. Yeah, Rick gave him to me. I read
Nice.
It starts right off with hitting Africa and not and shooting at the French a little bit. You know, there was a book about this guy named Sterling. He was a British officer, right? But he didn't like taking orders. It's really almost read like this is a movie, right? This the shit he did just not to get out of shit, right? And he wanted to. He didn't want to be like he didn't want to just like come in like the army does. He wanted to come in through the back door and blow shit up, like sneak up to their planes and blow them up and stuff, right? Nobody wanted to hear it. So anyway, he does some shit and he ends up getting a couple of guys and they're trying this, right? So the first time they do it's in Libya. And like all it does is it's like an ocean, right? It's just a fucking ocean of sand.
Right.
That's all it
Right.
fucking is. So he'd get in and the first time they tried planes, and his first time out, his chute didn't open right, and he hit hard, and so there's some funny shits about that, but they run into these guys, right? Who out there, the National Geographic guys, and they've been out there for a couple of years. Like they're like sand sailors. They have a thing called a sun compass, right? And they navigate this sand. They know how, so they start doing that, right? They start like that's how they get around. They quit with the fucking they get dropped, and then they started learning how to march. They went some fucking serious time without water. These guys got like really good at it, you know. That book was amazing. Like the thing is, like no way to like some of the guys would walk back and after like 4 days out there, right, actually drinking urine and shit. He said this one guy just, instead of going to the Germans, right? He said he could have just quit. He took a shot and he just walked into the desert. This one guy, he's a big guy though. I mean, you know, like, yeah, that fucking book. Sterling. I tell you how he got it. He ran up the stairs. He wasn't even supposed to be there, right? He'd already. This one officer had already told him, "Fucking shut up, go back. You know, I want to hear your fucking ideas," you know. And so he gets up there and he gets a chance to fucking talk to us. He walks in, right? And it's that officer that fucking shot him down. Sterling, what are you fucking doing here, right? He said, "Get up." So he ran out. He ran out to another one and he ran into these older generals, right? And he told them, and they were like, well, one guy's like, I like this guy, right? So next thing you know, he's got the thing. It was all, yeah. That's something you could see a scene in a movie, right? This the way he just ran up the stairs, just how it's all described. Like when they started to figure him out, he just ran away. He ran up into deeper into the office building. And then the first guy he runs into was a guy who knew him and had already dressed him down for the whole idea in the first place. Yeah, that's all. That all happened. You know? Then when he jumps out of the plane, one of the privates says, "I was surprised to see Lieutenant Sterling zoom by me." Right? He just like we all jumped out, you know, we're in our parachutes, and he come flying by me.
Yeah.
That was a great book too. See, I'm doing a Dan Collin thing right now. You start, you know, and this is a book I read a while ago. History's amazing because it happened. You know?
Yeah. I just listened to the one he had about King of Persia, King of Kings. It was really good. A whole part of the world I knew nothing about. You know, Greeks against Persians.
Yeah,
pretty well. Yeah.
I struggled through the Aeneid.
The what?
I'm more in the early Italy. Like the Aeneid is this book about is the poet Virgil. He was like a famous. It's about the Greek War and all that shit too. But it's written like in a poem. And Dante, he does like a fan fiction of like his version of. It's just a story, and so he's lost, and it's Virgil who shows up. So it's sort of like he was like a fan. Like it's like fan fiction. Like if I wanted to run into a guy to help me through hell, purgatory, and into heaven, I wanted to be Virgil, this guy who wrote the Aeneid, like okay. 200 50 years before Dante was born. It was just he was a fan of that guy Virgil. So Virgil's in. So I got it. The Aeneid. It's a fucking trip. There's all right. One scene. There's a priest, right, and he's he's in his robes and he's about to do it, and then he looks into the ocean, and there's these two snakes. You can just see them, and they're like in time. They're like big, and they're coming in, right?
Snakes?
Yeah, snakes, right? And the shit they had back there, everybody had like a shield and a like a stab, it was more like a pike, right? So he grabs his shit, and it's like everybody has one. It's just especially when shit like this happens. So yeah. So anyway, he gets it. It doesn't go well for him.
How big are the snakes?
They're big. They're like around his body, and they crush him. I think they eat his kid. It's a fucking nightmare.
Fuck.
Yeah. That one just stuck out. His name was Leo Lacone. That's the part I liked. It was a hell of a name, Leo Lacone. He's the guy that got attacked. It's one word. It sounds like two words, Leo Lacone, but it's Leo Lacone. So I want that as an email address or something. I was gonna have a podcast, a Leo Lacone hour. Yeah, the Aeneid. What's the and there's one.
And it's set in Italy, or what became Italy?
Yeah, well, it's sort of like it's like a journey from Greece to like the founding of Rome. Just how they just end up there. Eat plates. Yeah, there's some stuff in there's storms. There's is it Poseidon? Yeah, there's gods. There's it's all this shit. I have to look at it again. I actually knew the story better. It's been a while since I've attempted it. It's good though. It's just it's their version. Who knows if it fucking happened? There is one book that's only half done. They've done movies about it. It's like what it was like in early Rome, just like how nasty it was and shit. It's just a pot. It's just a book incomplete. The rest of it's lost. So it's this stuff. It's weird. We've been here 150,000 years, right? And we don't got but let's be generous. 20,000 years of written. It ain't that far, right? But let's be generous and say that. That's 130,000 years of unwritten shit, right?
Yep.
And there's a whole bunch of fucking there's a Wisconsin ice sheet that happened while we were here. There were actually there are events that would, if happened to us, would completely put us back into Stone Age shit.
Yeah. Like that, we were talking about that. The sun having a really big sunspot that in the 1850s that would fry all of our electronics if it happened today.
Yeah, but these are
and it happens periodically.
The Wisconsin ice sheet's one I remember, but there's a bunch of them. There's like a volcanic giant volcano blows up and just kills damn near everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a chart. I just saw it, but I didn't study it. I got the history of man. I got a book that kind of maps it out. Just the way the planet has definitely fucked us up. Just there's no question because we have ice cores and sediments.
Yeah.
Says, that must have been tough. We don't have it written down. We don't have anything. They say if you use Google Earth now, you can find a lot of it's like, oh look, it's what Chicago might look like in a couple of thousand years. Just this outline of what might have was there. City.
Yeah, they have this thing called LiDAR that they can look through the jungle.
Yeah. It lit up.
They're finding all the cities that were in the Amazon. Around the time of contact, that the whole thing kind of fell down.
Yeah. I saw that. It's like it was fully developed. There's cities everywhere. Just...
Yeah, and then it all went to shit. And by the time they got in there, it looked like the jungle primeval, but it really was just an overgrown civilization.
You see a lot of shit from space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. So, anyway, things happen to us. That's what I thought. Like a UFO, I think it's just humans. That'd be the thing.
Could be.
They're just from that time.
I think it's dinosaurs. I think it was a smart species of dinosaur. Come on now. I'm hungry. It's kind of lunchtime. That's why I'm hungry. Yeah, I think it's a species of dinosaurs that developed technology and killed themselves, and a few escaped. And now they come back looking to see what happened.
Well, if you wanted to survive, even us, we'd have to take this atmosphere with us. We'd have to figure out a way to artificially do it because the planet's not going to provide it forever.
Right.
So we have to do that. We have to make a bubble of this. We have to take a little bit of it with us. You know, maybe by then we can shoot around at like 30 G. You know,
Or we can just find the elements out there to make more of it. Find oxygen and nitrogen and whatever you need out there.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's what you do. You just, you make oxygen with water. You find water, you got oxygen. So you just electrocute it. Me oxygen. Yeah, you shock the oxygen right out of the water.
But you can't breathe just oxygen. You have to have the right mix.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we ain't got to do that yet. I don't want to buy it.
We won't have to do that.
No, if we want to like be here, like say 500 million years from now, something like that. Say.
Oh yeah, well,
that's what I'm talking about. Not.
We'd be a very different species 500 million years from now.
Yeah, after being in space and shit, we'd be like those jelly things that sit on a plate. They used to gamble on humans. Like, yeah, Kirkut captioned. And then they had that hot alien. You had a fight. And then, yeah, that was a good one. The tricksters of something. The gamesters of the gamers. Whatever. Yeah, they gambled in quattros or something, right? 50 quattros. Do you remember Domjot? Play Domjot, human. That's when Picard gets zapped. His heart gives out, and Q's there. He's like dead. It looks like he's dead, and Q comes out of the light. Like first, it looks like God's coming at him, and it's Q. Welcome, Jean-Luc. You're dead. Right?
That was my favorite character in that whole series.
Oh, Q was the best. No fucking doubt.
Like, he shows up in the beginning, and you think, this is going to be a major character, because he's so great.
Yeah.
And then you don't see him for, like, 2 seasons.
I fucking love his. Like, when they brought him there, he's human. That was a good one. He shows up. They kicked him out into the continuum. So, having a pimple? Having an itch? Having to bathe? Too bad. Fucking Worf. Too bad. He says, how can I prove to you I'm human? Die. Yeah, you get your powers back.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to get going.
Yeah,
I got to go out. You go take a shower. Get ready to go.
Yeah, we did like 3 weeks of podcasts right here. Whew. All right, Mike.
Well, it's good hanging out.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, I'll see you later, man.
All right, man. Take care.